destiny.
Welcome, apprentices and acolytes, to the first ever Book of Boba Fett breakdown. I'm gonna go by frame so you can get all of the knowledge, and you can brag to all of your friends about all the Boba Fett knowledge you've learned today. Let's get into it. Ready up. Right as the episode starts, you have this gorgeous overview of Jabba's palace, and I love it. I love how they basically send you all the way back to the Return of the Jedi. It literally looks almost identical to the actual film Return of the Jedi, and of course now we have Book of Boba Fett, and it looks so familiar, so beautiful. Amazing job to anyone that was on the set. Look how identical this is, practically the same thing from the movie to the show, and it's glorious that we're back here on Tatooine. The next thing that actually caught me off guard was the flashbacks to Kamino, and the Kamino flashbacks are insane. Anybody that just got done watching The Bad Batch, which is an awesome animated show, Kamino is one of the most important planets in all of Star Wars because of the clones. Of course, we know Boba Fett is the son of Jango Fett, and of course Jango Fett was literally the guy that was cloned over so many times for the clones in the Clone Army in the prequel trilogy. And of course you see Kamino, which is kind of a weird backflash for him inside this Bacta tank, and we have this incredible looking scene, and I don't know if this is similar to the original scene in Attack of the Clones, but it looks like they remastered it and added some CGI to it. I think it's kind of like a mix of the old and a little bit of the new. Oh man, but it is such an awesome throwback to the prequel trilogy. So let's go, prequel fans inside the chat. And of course now, let's talk about the Bacta tank. We've seen the Bacta tank so many times, of course, in Empire Strikes Back, and then we also saw it in Rogue One. There's several times throughout Star Wars movies that we've seen it. But this looks a little bit different now because you can see Boba Fett. Not only does it sort of regenerate him and it's giving him more life, but also it seems to kind of hydrate his skin. From when we first saw him in The Mandalorian, he did not look good. He looked a little shriveled. That man needed a drink of water. He needed to get hydrated, but now he's looking good. Looks like he got out of the sauna, but he does, as you saw in the episode, have some type of degradation. There's something that's going on with him and his body right now. He's not 100% right now. It seems like something that happened with the Sarlacc has kind of slowed him down and kind of like nerfed him at the moment, which is actually pretty similar to what happened in the Legend story. He gets some form of cancer because of the Sarlacc acid and being in there for so long. So maybe this is something that we're going to see incorporated into this new story. Either way, amazing use of resources for the Legends continuity. I love it. I love seeing it in the new canon. It's incredible. Let's go on to the next thing. The Sarlacc Pit. Man, the Sarlacc Pit is insane. Legends fans, we have been waiting for this for years, for so long. We thought we were going to get a movie, but now we have this, and look at him inside the Sarlacc Pit. Boba Fett does escape the Sarlacc Pit in the Legends continuity, but then he accidentally goes into the Sarlacc Pit again because he's in the scuffle with Han Solo, and they're inside the sand barge from the Jawas, and it crashes into the Sarlacc Pit, and then he's in there again, and he has to get out, and there's so many things that happen in there. He's crawling around inside the Sarlacc Pit. You can see the acid all over him, which is absolutely destroying and disintegrating his armor, his Mandalorian Beskar armor, and then he takes away the clone trooper's oxygen tank, uses it to get out, and just busts that flamethrower out. Oh man, and it's so cool. We have a beautiful depiction of him coming out of the sand, just literally, oh my god, the imagery in this was so beautiful, how he's able to crawl out, dig his way up. And there's also a nice little Easter egg behind him, which I believe is the crashed sail barge that we saw, Jabba's sail barge, of course, in Return of the Jedi, where everybody dies. So that's so cool. And then of course we get to see why he doesn't have his armor, and the Jawas jump him, which is absolutely tragic, and the Jawas are a bunch of punks. So next thing we have the Gamorrean guards, and I love the Gamorrean guards because I feel like these are actually the same Gamorrean guards that we've seen in Return of the Jedi. I'm not sure if this is one of the ones that Luke Skywalker actually force choked, but this is something to see and take note of in future iterations of these episodes to see how much of a role that they play in these episodes, because Gamorrean guards are incredible. We've seen so many different styles now with the Mandalorian and the brawler type. These are the security guard ones, the more muscular ones. Oh man, I can't wait to see how exactly they use them in these stories. Okay, so as I noted, we saw the sail barge wreckage, and the sail barge is completely destroyed, and I have no idea how this little blue guy, Max Rebo, who is a huge celebrity, I don't know how he survived. And then there's so many fans, including myself, that are so happy to see him because he's a legend. We all thought he died inside the sail barge, but it's so cool to see him still alive, doing his thing, playing the jizz that we all know and love, and he's still doing it, fam, going strong in Tatooine. The next thing is something that I love so much, and this guy looks like Rex. If you guys know from the Star Tours ride inside MGM Studios, this is Rex. He's also inside Oga's Cantina now, being a DJ. This form of droid is not something that we usually see inside Star Wars, you know, it's outside of Star Wars. So that type of acknowledgement was so cool, and I was so happy to see him. Alright, so this is the final thing on this episode that I wanted to talk about, and I actually have no idea what this is. I've never seen it in any iteration of video games, or comic books, or any of the books that I've read so far, and Tatooine is notorious for an incredible amount of terrifying creatures. You know, we were introduced to the Krayt Dragon earlier in the Mandalorian series, which has been something that's been in the Knights of the Old Republic games, and all throughout roleplay and the Star Wars universe. And then there's, of course, other things like the Sand Demons and the Sarlacc pits, but this is something completely different. I have no idea what this creature is. I've never seen him before, and it's so crazy. It looks like some type of iteration of Machamp and the Mortal Kombat character. It's insane to see him. I've never seen this, but this is what Star Wars is about. All these new creations, you think that you know what's going to happen, and they throw something new inside of it, and that's what's the originality comes from. But I can't wait to see what this is. I hope we get some type of open world Star Wars game, but again, I've never seen it before. This is pretty crazy, us all reacting as one, and I can't wait to see what other stories they have for Boba Fett. It's an incredible creature. I want to see more of it. I want to know what they drew inspiration from. The Mudhorn was another character that we saw for the first time inside Star Wars. It just seems like Tatooine and these desert planets always have something up their sleeve with these new creatures. For my little overview, I just want to say it was incredible. I thought the Book of Boba Fett was exactly what it needed to be. It was incredibly longer than I thought. It was about, was it 39 minutes of action, and it was. There really wasn't a lot of talking. In fact, Boba Fett, I think, only spoke maybe 15 or so lines inside the entire episode, and a lot of it was like environmental storytelling, which I feel like this director did so well in this episode. Incredible. I love it. A lot of people get really tired of the oversaturation with Tatooine and these desert planets. I do not. It's Star Wars at its core. I can literally watch a decade of Star Wars just literally on that same planet. I love the Tusken Raiders. I love the theme. I'm never going to get tired of it. And they just keep doing it right. You know, it's one tiny planet, but they keep making it larger and larger. And that's what makes this episode so good. 9 out of 10, easily. It was incredible. Boba Fett is so awesome. Man, I love this stuff. That was incredible. I thought at the same time too, there was components of Boba Fett's character that was a little different from that where I'd understand, because he's supposed to be a bounty hunter, and for those that read the comics, yeah, Boba Fett is not a nice guy. He's probably one of the most violent characters in all of Star Wars. So when he spared the child when he was escaping, I was a little shook and surprised in my reaction. But at the same time too, I think that they're just trying to give you a little bit more backstory on the character, that, you know, they want you to love Boba Fett as much as possible because he's arguably one of the most popular characters that's surrounded by so much hype. I mean, this dude died inside Return of the Jedi, was only in there for like 3 minutes, and he's still one of the most popular characters in all of Star Wars. So yeah, incredible start to the Book of Boba Fett. I love it. If you want more Star Wars content, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you go in the description box and follow all of my socials and my podcast. I'm Lord Dagobert. I'll see you around, fam. You just got the knowledge. Deuces.